It is essential to be up to date on happenings around you, and to make that easy for you, ladies and gentlemen, we present Freshlight, where we bring fresh newspaper headlines to the limelight. Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Watch, like, subscribe, and make sure your notification is activated on our YouTube channel. You can also like and comment on our pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Al-IyamoyeTv and radio.
This is the 5th day of the month of May 2023. Do you know the significance of 5? 5 means balance, health, love, adventure. And today we say welcome to adventure, welcome to much love from Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. I am OLUWAFISAYOMI, AJIBOLA.
And I am RISQAT FUNMILAYO. Thanks for joining.
Okay, it is Freshlight, where we will save you the stress of flipping through the newspaper pages, and we'll bring to you fresh headlines from our newspapers on a daily basis. Today, the 5th day of the month of May 2023, is not an exemption as we come into you into that is in completion. We would be starting with newspapers like The Sun and also The Nation. Starting with The Sun, let's look at what we have on the cover page of The Sun.
In the Sun newspaper, we have returning students to recount ordeal in Sudan, Egypt. We thought we would die, they declare federal government promises 100,000 each to evacuate. We find this in page 6 of Daily Sun. And also, Nigeria's unity non-negotiable, Tinubu says. Vows to make corruption in the judiciary unattractive, also in page 6. And we have polls. President's inauguration before the tribunal's judgment makes no sense. Onayekon said it. 1.6 million students will write 2023 white in 20,851 schools. This story is in page 27 in the Daily Sun newspaper. NAFDAC bans promotion, sales of breast milk substitute in health facilities, also in page 26. Arewa youth accuse LLC presidents of plotting against handover. It is written of politician says workers' body. This you can find this in page 27, Daily Sun newspaper. Banking sector credit to private rising to 43 trillion naira in 3 months, CBN. You can find this in page 2 of Daily newspaper. Troops kill 30 terrorists, apprehend 48 in North Central, Northwest, page 4 of Daily Sun newspaper. So these are the news we are going to bring to you this morning.
Okay, starting from The Sun, yes, the voice of the nation. Starting from the leading story, returning students recount ordeal in Sudan, Egypt. The detail has it that after nearly 3 weeks trapped in war-torn Sudan and another week stranded in Egypt over visa and border clearance issues, no fewer than 376 stranded Nigerian returnees touched down the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja on Wednesday night on board an Air Peace Airline and Nigerian Air Force NAF aircraft. Their arrival followed the President Muhammadu Buhari's intervention, which led to the resolutions of challenges that hampered their safe passage through Egypt. They were received by delegations of the federal government, comprising Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disasters Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, Director General, Nigeria National Management Emergency Agency, NEMA, Ahmed Mustafa, and Chairman CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri Iriwa. Returnee students recount ordeal in Sudan, Egypt. Details on the Sun newspaper, or you go to thesonnewsonline.com and read details. Reps tax NDDC on critical projects. That is also on the Sun newspaper this morning. House of Representatives has charged the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC to give priority to critical projects that will add value to the people of Niger Delta. Chairman, House Committee of NDDC, Tunji Ojo, gave the charge when the management of the Interventionist Agency appeared before the committee to present its consolidated budget for 2021, 2022, and 2023. Ojo noted that the Parliament will put the Commission to its toes to ensure it delivers on its mandate. Reps tax NDDC on critical projects. The Sun newspaper has that details.
Okay, my first story is also from the Sun newspaper. Mining. Federal government opens gemstone market in Nigeria. The federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, has commissioned the ultra-modern International Gemstone Market Center and the Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining ASM's cluster project in Ibadan, Oyo State. The Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Architect Olamilekan Adegbite, who commissioned the ultra-modern International Gemstone Market on Thursday in Ibadan, noted that the commissioning is an opportunity to highlight the effort of the administration of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari to open some of potentials available in the mining sector to serve as alternative revenue source. To read more of this story, you can go to the Sun newspaper.
Okay, if you are interested in talking about Nigerian unity and that of the president-elect, you will see the story on the Sun. Nigeria's unity not negotiable, Tinubu. President-elect Bola Tinubu has declared that the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. This is as he has vowed to make corruption in the judiciary unattractive. He stated this yesterday when he commissioned the Magistrate Court Complex in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, urging Nigerians to tolerate one another. Tinubu, who rounded off his 2-day visit to Rivers State yesterday, said though he and Governor Nyesom Wike of People's Democratic Party belong to different political parties, they however believe in the unity of Nigeria. To read details of that story on the Sun newspaper, go to that headline. Nigerian unity non-negotiable, Tinubu. Still on the Sun newspaper, if you are interested on the issue of Adamawa State Football Association Board, you will see a story, yes, on that content here. It says Nasarawa State Football Association Board member Ismaila Konga regains freedom after abduction. Nasarawa State Football Association Board member Ismaila Konga, who was abducted a few days ago, has been released by his captors. Recall that Sun had reported that Ismaila Konga, Nasarawa State Football Board members and the zonal coordinator of the Akwanga Zona Argon Governor A.A. Slay Unity Football Competition was kidnapped fortnight ago on his way home to Hadaha after prosecuting a football match in Akwanga LGC. The news of his release was confirmed by the Nasarawa State Football Association under the leadership of Alhaji Mohammed Al-Kali. Nasarawa State Football Association Board Ismaila Kanga regains freedom after abduction. Yes, that has been reported by Daily Sun.
Also in the Sun newspaper, 2023 election set aside differences, move forward, Gambari says. The chief of staff for President Muhammad Buhari, Ibrahim Gambari, has called on Nigerians to set aside their differences of the just concluded general elections and chart a way forward for nation building. Gambari said this yesterday in Calabar while delivering the 35th convocation lecture of the University of Calabar. The topic of the lecture was the leadership and followership question in Nigeria. imperative of an ethical reorientation. He said the 2023 polls have been conducted and winners have emerged, adding that Nigeria should join hands in building a better country. To read more of this story, you can go to the Punch. The Sun newspaper. 2023 elections set aside differences, move forward, Gambari says.
Okay, let's move on to another newspaper this morning. Yes, on Freshlight. We are going to the Nation newspaper. Let's look at the cover stories on the Nation newspaper this morning.
Okay, on the Nation newspapers, we have outburst on inauguration. Onayekon comes under fire. Senior lawyers knock cleric questioning president-elect swearing in. DHQ, nothing will stop May 29 event. Accept tribunal verdict. Gowon tells Atiku, Obi and others. Sudan evacuates. Our experience harrowing. You can see this on the page 28. Okay, NDDC seeks reps approval for 2.28 trillion naira 3-year budget estimate. Also, we have reps condemn disruptions of flights by Labour. Osime delivers Siri a title to Napoli. So these are the news we found on the newspaper, on the Nation newspaper today, May 5th.
The leading story you have on the Nation newspaper is outburst on inauguration. Onayekon comes under fire. For fulfilling the expected May 29 inaugurations of President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Catholic Archbishop Emeritus John Cardinal Onayekon yesterday got knocks from eminent lawyers and all Progressive Congress stalwarts. The Archbishop Emeritus said, "I am one of those who have been saying that it does not make much sense to swear people when they are still in court. I can't understand, and I'm not a legal man or judge. It is a pity that it is taking too long for the courts to make up their mind on this matter. The election is not yet over. There are cases in court that have not been disposed of. That is why we are in an anomalous situation. We have declared President-elect whose result is being challenged and the court is handling it." Tinubu won the election in February 25, defeating People's Democratic Party (PDP) and the Labour Party counterpart Peter Obi. If you want to read the outburst on the inauguration, pick up a copy of the Nation newspaper and read with the headline, "Outburst on inauguration. Onayekon comes under fire." Okay, also on the Nation newspaper, accept tribunal verdict. Gowon tells Atiku, Obi, others. Former head of state General Yakubu Gowon yesterday urged politicians with cases before the election petition tribunal to accept the outcome in good faith. Also, Chief of Staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, enjoined Nigerians, especially politicians, to set aside their differences on the just concluded general elections and chart a way forward for nation building. The two other statesmen spoke at different fora in Abuja and Calabar, Cross River State. Accept tribunal verdict. Gowon tells Atiku, Obi and others. The Nation newspaper has the details.
Also on the Nation newspaper, we have 4,000 IDPs to be enrolled into transitional learning centers. Federal government has said it will enroll 4,000 internally displaced persons, IDPs, into traditional learning centers. The Federal Commissioner of National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, NCFRMI, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, spoke while launching the center at Puchigoro IDP camp in Abuja yesterday. He noted this initiative is part of an intervention under Project Educate All, saying 4,000 learners aged 5 to 18 will benefit from the initial phase in 8 IDP camps at FCT and Nasarawa State. 4,000 IDPs to be enrolled into transitional learning center. We found this in the Nation newspaper.
Getting an update on the Adamawa state election, you will see this. Adamawa Rec, others get bail. Suspended Adamawa State Resident Electoral Commissioner Rec Audu Yunus Sahari, who is under police probe, has been granted bail. Also allowed to go home are two independent National Electoral commissioners and other officials undergoing interrogation at the police headquarters in connections with the Adamawa governorship election fiasco. Their release on administrative bail is with conditions. Adamawa Rec, others get bail. The Nation has the details. Talking about the senator who is under probe in the UK, let's go to UK and see what is happening. Ekweremadu, wife, doctor, no faith, Friday today. The International Human Rights Commission, IHRC, joined those pleading for former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu and his wife Beatrice. It appealed to the government of the United Kingdom for leniency in the sentencing of the duo alongside their doctor, Dr. Obina Obeta. The trio were found guilty by Justice Jeremy Johnson's Central Criminal Court, Old Bailey, London, and convicted in March under the Modern Slavery Act of the United Kingdom. Ekweremadu, his wife, and Obeta will know their fate today when they face the jury for sentencing. Ekweremadu, wife, doctor, no fate today, Friday. The Nation has the details.
Nigeria should tap more into tourism. Also, in the Nation newspaper, governorship candidates of New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP) in the elections in Ogun State, Olufemi Oguntoyibo, has urged the federal government to make Nigeria a tourist site. Oguntoyibo, who traveled out of the country yesterday to Tanzania on week holiday with his family, called on the government to diversify the economy. He said diversification of the economy, especially improvements of the hospitality and tourism sector, will lead to economic growth and development. Nigeria should tap more into tourism. You can also find this in the Nation newspaper.
Okay, on the Nation newspaper, let's look at these. Oyebanji, I will always consult my predecessor. Governor, barely 1 month after the Supreme Court decided the Ekiti governorship election in favor of Governor Biodun Oyebanji, has paid a visit to the candidate of the Social Democratic Party SDP and his main challenger in court, Chegwoni, at the Ifaki Ekiti residence. Oyebanji said it is in fulfillment of his pledge to personally visit Oni, whom he described as a brother, a leader for whom he had great respect. He said, and I quote, "I am here to debunk the notion that you don't return from court and became friends. I am here to greet my senior brother and my leader, whom I have great respect for." End of quote. Oyebanji, I will always consult my predecessor. That is on the Nation newspaper. There will be paradigm shift in Enugu, says Mba. Peter Mba, lawyer, People's Democratic Party PDP chieftain and governor-elect of Enugu State, has crossed the bridge from boardroom to politics. Now, as an administrator, his priority is to grow the economy of the state from $4.4 billion to $30 billion in the next 8 years. He also plans to empower 40,000 youths every year on information, communication, and technology ICT. To read details of the movement of the new governor, read with the headline, "There will be paradigm shift in Enugu," says Mba. It is found on the Nation newspaper. Let's move to another newspaper, or let's go for a break. When we come back from the break, we'll look at the other newspapers we have, which are the Daily Trust and the Sun newspaper. We'll go for this commercial break and we'll come back in full.
Students have been disappointed severally in their bid to seek greener pasture abroad. To those quack in the trap, it is a rocket science. That is not a case at all. We have in-depth details on how to successfully, without stress, help you and secure in the world. Do you want permanent residential visa and tourism visa? Places like Europe, America, Asia, Africa. It's no big deal to us. Our years of experience, expertise speaks volume for us. Let's process and secure visa for you to UK, USA, and Canada within a twinkle of an eye. We offer agencies to our Muslim faithfuls. What are you waiting for? Consult us at number 9 South Central Mall, Sholanke Street, behind Laroy Hotel, Abiola Way, Abiola. 080 or 0. Stop wasting money. Talk to Tausoft and I've been disappointed to see greener pasture abroad.
We have the lead story, which is May Nigeria never experienced war, Sudan returnees pray. You can find this in page 4. Trafficked Nigerian women in Iraq beg for evacuation. May 29, we are ready for troublemakers, military. I was forced to marry 3 Boko Haram terrorists. Rescue Chibok girl says. 70% of private school teachers in Southwest unqualified. TRCN. You can find this in page 3 of Daily Trust newspaper. TAJ Bank unveils Osita Iheme, Sarah Tudaso as brand ambassadors. You can find this in page 22 of Daily Trust newspaper. Bride arrested for beating pregnant co-wife to coma over prayer mat. Page 21 of the Daily Trust newspaper has this. Sudan crisis, Hajj fare may rise above 3 million naira as airlines decline signing agreement. So these are the stories we have on the Daily Trust newspaper today.
Okay, may Nigeria never experience war, Sudan returnees pray. I think that should get a resounding amen from us. Okay, let's look at what prompted the returnee to give that prayer this lovely Friday morning. 364 Nigerian evacuees from crisis-ridden Sudan who landed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, late Wednesday night, narrated their ordeal and prayed that Nigeria never experience war. One of the evacuated Nigerian students, Aliru Bello, who spoke to Daily Trust, prayed that Nigeria never experience war as it could crumble the citizens and the nation's outline. He said as a medical student at the International University of Africa, Sudan, his academic program had been put on hold because of the war that suddenly broke out in the country. It started at hand at 11 a.m. when we started hearing gunshots, and after 3 days we started experiencing airstrikes and missiles. The words of Aliru Bello. If you want to read that details and also make resounding amen to that comment, pick up a copy of Daily Trust and search for the headline. May Nigeria never experience war, Sudan returnees pray. Also on Daily Trust you will see May 29, we are ready for troublemakers. The military Thursday again warned those planning to scuttle the May 29 inaugurations of President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said it was ready to forestall any threat to the inauguration. Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Musadam Madani, told reporters in Abuja that the military had not seen reasons the inauguration would not take place. To read details of these threats or resounding warning, May 29, we are ready for troublemakers. Military. Daily Trust has the details.
Also on Daily Trust newspaper, I found this. I was forced to marry 3 Boko Haram terrorists. Rescue Chibok girl. One of the 2 girls from the government girls secondary school, Chibok, recently rescued by the military, Hawa Omata, on Thursday said that she was forced to marry 3 terrorists within 9 years after their abduction by Boko Haram in 2014. Speaking with newsmen, Hawa expressed delight with their rescue, explaining that the military rescued them when they went out to fetch water in the forest. When asked, okay, so it was Shikau that married us to them. The first husband went away. Unfortunately, he never returned, and Shikau said the marriage has collapsed since they chose to infidels. To read more of this story, you can go to the Daily Trust. That is where we have the story.
It's sad the way these girls are making reports about what is happening.
Chibok girls are not, they have turned to mothers.
Yes, so don't let us call them Chibok girls again. Let's call them Chibok mama.
That was what I told one of my colleagues last week.
Marrying 3 husbands in 9 years. The husband, you don't even know where they are. Okay, going to other stories on Daily Trust. Electricity cheapest in Nigeria, says FG. How true is this? The Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, yesterday says the electricity tariff in Nigeria is the cheapest in the world. He said despite the cheap cost of electricity and the government's effort to make power available to Nigerians, many consumers, especially government agencies, defaulted in bill payment. He spoke in Abuja on Thursday during an interactive session with the Senate Committee on Power and heads of various agencies in the power sector. According to him, the cost of electricity in Nigeria is the cheapest across the globe, particularly gas to power, which is highly subsidized. To read details of that story, pick up a copy of Daily Trust. It has the headline, Electricity Cheapest in Nigeria, says FG. Before people should start telling us this, they should also always imagine that some of us have the opportunity of crossing the shores of this country. But truly, electricity is cheap in Nigeria. Truly. Really? But what you should ask yourself is, okay, let's compare Nigeria with UK. Electricity is expensive in UK. But what about possibility of getting a job to pay for the electricity? Is it available in UK? Yes. Now, electricity in Nigeria, a 2-bedroom flat, you get like 15,000-20,000 naira. How much is the minimum wage? 30,000 naira. Is electricity cheap? Going to another copy of another story on Daily Trust, you will see this. Sudan crisis. Airlines failed to sign agreements to leave 2023 Hajj pilgrims. Local airlines selected to airlift Nigerian pilgrims from the 2023 Hajj have refused to sign a letter of agreement with the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria due to the Sudan crisis. The representative of the airlines include Air Peace, Asman Air, Max Air, and Aero Contractors. The signing of the airlift agreement, which was supposed to hold on Thursday, was postponed till Tuesday next week as the airlines requested consultations from their superiors. However, the only foreign airline among them, Flynas, signed the agreement as it was allocated over 28,000 pilgrims who will represent 40% of the pilgrims. Sudan crisis. Airlines failed to sign agreement to lift 2023 Hajj pilgrims. Daily Trust has the details. Going to the last newspaper for today, let's look at what Punch has as its cover in Punch newspaper. That will be our last paper for today, and that is Punch. Let's look at what we have on the cover page of Punch newspaper this morning.
Okay. In Punch newspaper, we have the lead story, which is, again, military warns saboteurs, Gowon Council petitioners. You can find this in page 2. Troop kills 40 insurgents, rescue 2 Chibok girls. 70% Southwest private school teachers unqualified, TRCN says. You can find this in page 27. 25-year-old dredging firm worker drowns in Lagos River, page 4. Sudan, second batch of stranded Nigerians arrives today. You can find this in page 7. So these are the stories we have in the Punch newspaper today.
Okay, let's look at the leading story. May 29 handover. Again, military won saboteurs. Gowans cancel petitioners. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Damadami, handed down the warning on Thursday as the former military head of state Yakubu Gowon advised candidates challenging the outcome of the last election to accept the court verdict. Damadami's cautions came a month after the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tuko Gusau, vowed that the military would resist anything that would truncate democracy in Nigeria. Also, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, had threatened to clamp down on potential threats to national security and warned the indigenous people of Biafra, Eastern Security Network, and other fringe groups not to test the will of the military. May 29 handover. Again, military won saboteur. Gowon cancels petitioners. That you will see on Punch newspaper. Also on Punch newspaper, you will see this. 3 airlines to lift stranded Nigerian students in Egypt today. All stranded Nigerians in the Port Sudan and Egypt are expected to arrive on Friday today. The Punch has learned. The first batch of evacuees arrived in Nigeria on Wednesday night. Complete evacuations from Egypt is expected to be completed today, Friday, as Hasman Air will transport 400 passengers, while Max Air is to clear the remainder. Punch correspondent also gathered that boarding had commenced in Port Sudan, with Thanko Aviation carrying stranded Nigerians back to the country. 3 airlines to lift stranded Nigerian students in Egypt today. The Punch has the details.
Also in Punch newspaper, I will fulfill all my campaign promises, Tinubu says. The president-elect Bola Tinubu on Thursday vowed that he will fulfill all the campaign promises he made when he assumed office as president from May 29. Tinubu, whose campaign manifesto was to tag renewed hope, made the promise in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, while inaugurating the Magistrate Court Complex building by Governor Yose Wike administration and named after a former Chief Judge of the state, Justice Iche Ndu, retired. The form is on the way. I am here with the hope that you will collaborate with me. I promise you my commitment to fulfill all political promises I made, the president-elect declared. I will fulfill all my campaign promises, Tinubu said. You can find this in the Punch newspaper.
Okay, going to this story, the Metro page of Punch newspaper. Cardinal man stabs brothers over advice to quit smoking. A 25-year-old man, Adamu Sanusi, was on Thursday arraigned before a Kaduna Chief Magistrate Court for allegedly stabbing his brother in his chest with a broken bottle. The News Agency of Nigeria reported that the defendant, who resides at Hali Akilu Road, Kaduna, is charged with 2 counts of assault and causing harm. He, however, pleaded not guilty to the charge. Cardinal man stabs brothers over advice to quit smoking. That is on the Metro page of Punch. And lastly, on the sports page, you will see Napoli owner De Laurentiis says Serie A title starting points. Napoli owner Ariello De Laurentiis said that the team's first Serie A title is over 3 decades, was just the beginning of the club he took from bankruptcy to the top of the Italian game. Fame mogul De Laurentiis took control of Napoli in 2004 when the club were forced to restart from the 3rd tier, and since then has made Napoli consistently one of the best teams in Italy while keeping the club finances in decent shape. Napoli owner says Serie A title starting point. It's on the sport page of Punch newspaper. On that note, I say thank you for listening to Fresh Light this lovely Thursday morning. Do join us again tomorrow. That's Saturday, where we would also be looking at the fresh headlines from our tabloids. Don't forget you can get to join us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram with our handle at Al-IyamoyeTv Radio. I remain OLUWAFISAYOMI AJIBOLA.
Alright, thanks for being part of today's program. Even if Sammy did not even celebrate me, he didn't wish me a birthday, but I'm not angry about that. But just to remind everyone, today is my birthday. So thanks for being part of today's program. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend. I am RISQAT, FUNMILAYO.
You didn't tell me today was your birthday.
But I okay, maybe I think you forgot, because I told you. I know.
Well, I will have not forgotten if you have walked in with a cooler or with banana or something to say, okay, you are doing birthday. But well, hopefully maybe they are parked outside. I'll say may you live longer than you expected.
Amen.
Good morning and welcome to another phase of your life.
Thank you. Thank you. Alright, thanks for being part of today's program. My name is RISQAT, FUNMILAYO.